So for architects and engineers, typically what we do can be defined as creative problem solving. Basically, when we start a new project, the first thing we want to do is we want to understand what are the key issues in a project. What are the problems? Because you cannot start to solve the problems until you really understand what are the problems. So in the case of a bus transit center project, we have to first get an understanding of what are the goals and objectives of all the different users involved in this project. And these users include the transit agency, typically as our client, and we have to understand that they have very specific goals and objectives related to bus operations, passenger comfort, amenities that they intend to provide to the passengers, or amenities they definitely do not want to provide because there may be some security related issues, or there may be some costs associated with the maintenance involved with providing those amenities. And we need to understand what are the goals of the passengers, the users themselves. How do they plan to use the facility? Where are people headed when they leave the facility? Where are they arriving from as they come to the facility? What is the preferred process for purchasing tickets? Is it from a person sitting in a ticket window? Is it from an automated ticket machine? Is it from an online resource? Also, how does the transit agency communicate to the users? Is this done all through electronic communications? Or is there a preference for physical pieces of paper, information cards that people can pick up and take with them? And depending on what those goals are, will define how we organize the spaces within the transit center to provide these services. Also, we need to understand what are the goals and objectives of the public. For the people that are not the transit users? What type of interaction or relationship are they going to have with this project? We want to make sure that if we build a project that's in a downtown urban area, that we don't create a barrier in that urban area, that we make sure that people can still move through the site. Also, we want to understand if there is a need or a desire to provide additional amenities within the project that would serve not just the passengers but also the non-commuters or the non-transit users. And this is something which is referred to as TOD, transit-oriented development. And basically a transit agency can say, as they're constructing a project, a part of the physical building they're constructing or an amenity around the building may not be specifically dedicated to transit operations. It might be an area that the transit agency could lease out to tenants, other businesses who could come in and conduct their businesses, which would provide a service to the transit users and hopefully provide a service to the community as a whole. And we'll talk more about TOD or retail opportunities in one of the later sections, but this is a key element to understand very early in the process because it's something that needs to be integrated into the overall project. Another key element of understanding this project and making sure that it's going to be a success is understanding where is the project to be located. Is it truly set in a downtown core? Is it something that's out in a suburban area on the edge of a community? Or is this a project that's going to be constructed in an area of a city which possibly has seen better days? Maybe it's in an area which is not that great of a part of town, but people are looking for this project to be a catalyst to stimulate growth and economic growth as well as activity in an area, because a bus transit center is a very busy place and there are a lot of people moving in and out of this facility. And typically when you see over the course of time when a transit center is constructed somewhere, that the area around the transit center is impacted significantly in terms of new types of business opportunities and new organizations and a new scale of the city in that area. And we also need to understand, again, from a user standpoint, who's using the project. Is it commuters that are just going to use this to get to and from work? School children that are going to be transported to and from school? Is it just tourists? Is this something that is close to a tourist destination? The familiarity of the system by the users has a big impact on the layout of the system itself and the layout of the transit project. And we also want to understand what are the other modes of transportation that are connected to this project. Do we need to provide taxi stands, bike racks, or bike lockers? Is this going to connect to a rail type system, a commuter rail, or a heavy rail metro, or a light rail metro? Or again, maybe in a suburban situation, maybe this is part of it's integrated into a parking structure, where it would become basically a park and ride facility. So these are all elements that we need to understand before we can move into actually designing the project.